I live in Canada, and in the winter, most people bring out some kind of humidifier. You can't own a humidifier without cleaning it. It's just impossible. The lime scale buildup, the potential for algae or bacteria, you gotta clean them. Today on the channel, I'm gonna clean a DYSON AM10. I'm gonna follow the recommended instructions for monthly cleaning from Dyson. So if you wanna see how I clean this Dyson humidifier, stay with me till the end. For now, let's get going. So first up, you gotta make sure the humidifier is unplugged. Some of the parts get hot while it's running. So if it's been running for a while, I'll unplug it and I'll leave it for 10 minutes. Next step is removing the amp assembly. I've got to push this little button on the top of the water tank and the amp assembly pulls up and away. Next, I'm going to grab this little flip out handle and I'm going to remove the tank. It'll be a little wet on the bottom. It's usually a good idea to wipe away any excess water so it doesn't drip all over the place. Next step, remove the plug on the bottom of the water tank. If you've ever filled the tank, you know this plug pretty well. Just unscrew it and dump any excess water out of the tank. Next, I have to remove the water tank chimney. There's this little dial here. You twist it 90 degrees clockwise, and then you just pull the chimney right out. And then there's a little seal on the other end. There's a couple of little tabs. You pinch them together with one hand, and then with your other hand, pull it right out. So we remove the water from the tank. Now we got to remove the water from the trough. It's just a simple case of tipping it over and dumping it out. For some models like mine, this white and silver version has a seal on the trough. If you have an AM10 of a different color, you might not have this seal. Next, I'm going to mix up the citric acid solution. Citric acid is the chemical that Dyson recommends for cleaning the humidifier. 30 grams of citric acid powder and 1 liter water is all it takes. I'll leave an Amazon link in the description below if you want to order some citric acid from there. You can also get it in most supermarkets, hardware stores, pharmacies. It's pretty available. Stir that guy up and pour it into the trough. I pour the solution into the trough until both the UVC emitter and the piezo are submerged. Then with the remaining solution, I grab the water chimney, I grab the seal, I grab the trough seal, put them in. Then I go find something else to do for 15 minutes, come back, pull the parts out of the solution. And then I dump the solution out of the trough. Then I take the parts that are covered in the solution still and I rinse them under cold running water. And then I'm going to dry each part off. They recommend using a microfiber cloth. Not a bad idea. It protects the finish of the part. And it also helps just making sure that if there's any stubborn lime scale stuck on there, you might be able to rub it off. Next step, the amp assembly, got to remove the surround. Seems to work best if you pull the bottom outwards and lift up. Then I grab a microfiber cloth, put it in the citric acid, wring out any excess, and I wipe the edges of the amp assembly. This is where most of the mist comes out of the humidifier, so you want to get both the surround and the assembly and really make sure to get it clean. Then I take the remaining solution, I pour it into the tank, right where I would add water if I were filling it up, put the tank plug back on, make sure it's on there good and tight, and give it a shake. Dyson recommends 30 seconds of shaking. You just want to make sure that all parts of the inside of the tank get covered by the solution. And then let the tank rest upright for 15 minutes. I find it a little bit cumbersome because the plug gets in the way. It won't exactly sit flat, but that's okay. Then remove the tank plug, drain the solution from the water tank, and then you can flush the tank out with water. If you're using tap water, fill it halfway, put the plug back on, and then it's shaking time again. Another 30 seconds of shaking. Make sure to clean off the inside of the tank, dump that water out into the sink, and you're good. Then it's time for some reassembly. Place the water chimney back in the tank, put the seal back on. In my model, I've got the trough seal to put back in, and then I'm gonna fill the tank with water because I'm ready to go. Then you just replace the plug, put the tank back on the base, let the little handle fold back down into the tank, put the amp assembly back together, attach it to the machine, and you're good. Cleaning a humidifier can help elongate its life and make sure it works properly. Especially for one as expensive as this, it seems pretty important to do. At first glance, it might seem a little bit daunting, but in the end, once you get used to it, it's not so bad. So I hope that helped you out. If it did, please feel free to like or subscribe. Liking and subscribing can really help a channel. And if you could do that for this channel, I'd really appreciate it. And otherwise, take care, stay safe, have fun with your DIY projects. I'll see you next Saturday.